Yo, what is going on, you guys? It is a Dougie, and I have another Madden 19 video for you. This is actually going to be the first Madden 19 video besides the rookie premiere. This is basically who should you pick, who I'm going to pick, my reasoning for that, because with every Madden we get a lot of choices to start out, and a lot of people think those choices are irrelevant, that, oh, I'll just replace them right away. But what I found with Madden 18 is I actually had a lot of these day one cards for a pretty long time, and I didn't really wind up replacing them until later on in the game. And especially when you're playing solos, there's certain things that you need and that you don't need. And then when you go into playing online, obviously you want a nice balanced minimum 85 overall team for the beginning of the game. But day one, you really just got to get through those solos, and you got to have some players to get through those solos. So the image we have up here is the Hall of Fame edition of Madden 19. I already have it bought. I am probably going to wind up getting it on PC as well, just to have like a Smurfish account to kind of just do something different. Maybe every time a promo comes out, I'll try something else opposite of what I'm doing on PlayStation. I'm not really sure. But I am getting the EA access for the PC version since I don't have an Xbox anymore, and that'll allow me to play it early, get some early videos, get some early ideas to how things work. That's what I did last year. Was I played Madden 18 EA access on Xbox for a week, or what was it? I think it was 30 hours. So it wound up being like, it took me like 3 days, because the first day I put in like 12 hours and then I kind of tapered off. But I had a couple days with it. I got time to do a lot of solos and a lot of get a lot of cards. I probably put like $20 on just to see what the packs were looking like, what your odds of getting an elite was, all that stuff. So without further ado, let's go into what you get with the Madden 19 Hall of Fame edition. You get your choice of one of 5 elite Hall of Fame legends below. We're going to get to that next. Your choice of one elite player from your NFL team. That's actually going to be in the next segment of the video. 12 gold team fantasy packs. So what these packs look like in Madden 18, and probably will look like in Madden 19, is you get a gold team fantasy pack, and it's going to say you can pick offense or defense. And then you pick offense or defense. And then they give you a couple players, maybe 10 players, and you get to pick like 5 of them or something like that. So, or you'll just get all of those once you pick your offense or defense. I don't remember exactly how it worked. I think it was you picked offense or defense, and you got everyone in that pack. One training pack. They gave us that last year. I think the training pack was just like a base player of like that. The training pack might have been the LT. I don't remember. The training pack was it. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was like something really low at the time. I don't remember. The Madden 19 cover athlete elite player. It's pretty much non-confirmed, but confirmed that it's going to be Antonio Brown. So I already have him penciled in as the cover athlete. There's already been loading screen images leaked of Antonio Brown being the cover athlete, so we're just going to say it's him. And then 2 custom uniforms in Madden Ultimate Team. These are probably just going to be like Hall of Fame jerseys, I can imagine. They're just going to be like Canton jerseys or something like that. So into the first version of this video, the first segment, we have who am I going to pick for the GOATs. So let's go through all 5. We have Dan Marino, quarterback, Brian Urlacher, middle linebacker, Terrell Owens, wide receiver, and God, Rod Woodson, cornerback, defensive back, whatever you want to look at him, and Terrell Davis, running back. Back to Rod Woodson real quick. He has had cards throughout Madden's of cornerback and safety, but I would put money down that it's a quarterback. So going back, Dan Marino is already kind of out the window for me. While it's nice to have a good quarterback, I did the Sam Darnold rookie premiere, and I've used Dan Marino so much in Madden 18 since I got his 99 Ultimate Legend. I have no use for him in this next Madden. Nothing against him. It's just like quarterbacks are something that there'll be like one that comes out in like October that you'll be able to use through December. And then in December with the Ultimate Freeze, another one will come out that you can use until like February. So I never stress about quarterback. Like, we'll figure it out. Andrew Luck's Team of the Week captain is, week 1 when he throws for 6 touchdowns like that. I'll probably just get that card. Brian Urlacher, middle linebacker. He's who I'm probably going to wind up. Actually, he is who I'm going with. Urlacher is one of my favorite players all time. He invented the hit stick and re-engineered the hit stick and then broke the hit stick by hit sticking it. And then we got Terrell Owens. So Terrell Owens is a wideout. He's going to be crazy. He's going to be really good. If I have the opportunity to go back and get another GOAT, I probably will go back and get Owens. But with Antonio Brown being the cover athlete, elite player, I don't see a point for having 2 wide receivers, and actually 3, which I'll get to later. Rod Woodson, the cornerback. There's not a ton of need at cornerback in the solos. When you play online, there is, but I'm just not a huge Rod Woodson fan. So, I don't really see the point of using my GOAT on someone I'm not really crazy about. Last year I picked it on Ray Lewis because I love middle linebacker is probably my favorite position, and next to running back and quarterback. So I want my favorite players from my favorite position to use throughout the year because I used Ray Lewis pretty much year round. And then we go into Terrell Davis. I actually already have running back filled. I'm sure Terrell Davis will be great. I'm sure his card will be the best card in the game at launch. But from what I've heard this year, this Madden is going to be about the shifty, elusive, quick cutting backs. Not even the speed backs, not even the power backs, like the LaShawn McCoys, the absolute ankle breakers are going to be the guys that really excel this year. I heard Gurley's a beast. So between Gurley, Shady, the players like that, that's really who I'm thinking I'm going to go with. I think Terrell Davis, while he's kind of a fast power back, I just don't think he's going to be my guy this year. So that's what we got for the GOATs, and next we're going to get into the elite players. Alright, so for the second segment of the video, we have the pre-order bonus, 1 elite player, and this says 5 gold fantasy team packs, so we're either up to 17, or you're getting 7 for the base game and 5 for the pre-order, and it's just showing. So who knows? It doesn't really matter that much because you don't know what you're getting, but these are the elite players. Let's go through them real quick. We'll take it in bars of left to right. We got Rob Gronkowski from the Patriots, Shady from the Bills, Devontae Parker from the Dolphins, Leonard Williams from the Jets, Le'Veon from the Steelers, C.J. Mosley Ravens, A.J. Green Bengals, Myles Garrett from the Browns, Marcus Mariota from the Titans, Fournette from the Jags, Deshaun Watson Texans, Andrew Luck from the Colts, Hunt from the Chiefs, Miller from the Broncos, Bosa Chargers, Cooper Raiders, Carson Wentz from the Eagles, Sean Lee, Josh Norman, Landon Collins, Harrison Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Jordan, Howard, Michael Thomas, Luke Kuechly, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Russell Wilson, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, Jimmy Garoppolo. So, of these, you already know that with the GOAT, I'm probably going to be going with Urlacher. And also with the rookie premieres, it kind of rules out, like I said with Marino, I'm not really going to need a quarterback, so it kind of there's 8 quarterbacks in here, so that kind of I had already deleted a quarter of what I wanted. I have Saquon Barkley, there's 7 running backs, so that kind of went down. What I really wanted was a good free safety, and while there is Harrison Smith, Landon Collins as the safeties, I'm pretty sure Harrison Smith will be a free safety, but Landon Collins most likely going to be a strong safety. I am a Harrison Smith fan, but I really just wanted someone, I don't know, just someone that wasn't Harrison Smith. I can't give you an option as to who I would have rather had, really. I know there's not a ton of great free safeties in the league, but yeah, so I think I'm just going to kind of let that happen and not pick him. But I have a bracket coming up in the next segment as to we make all these players face off against each other. going into this, I'll be 100% honest. Going into this, I'm like, all right, well, I have my defense. My offense is pretty filled out between Antonio Brown with the cover athlete, Calvin Ridley with the rookie premieres, Sam Darnold, Saquon Barkley, Quentin Nelson. Like, my offense is pretty shored up, so it kind of made me think, all right, defense. So with defense, I'm like, all right, I have a corner, middle linebacker, defensive end, and safety. I have all the levels. So my thought was, why don't I get a other side of the end? So I'm like, oh, you know what? The only left end on here, besides possibly Leonard Williams, not positive, is Joey Bosa. So I'm like, oh, Joey Bosa makes a ton of sense. And I love Joey Bosa, so that's a great pick. That's who I'm going with. But I was like, you know what? While Joey Bosa sounds the best, let's do a bracket, and maybe I'll come to a different conclusion. So while this was my initial thought, also you got to remember, these guys, these are not 90 overall cards. These probably won't even be 85 overall cards. Last year they were 80 overalls, and the cards were not anything crazy. The Aaron Rodgers, off the top of my head, I know he had like 81 short, 78 mid, and 77 deep or something like that. These cards aren't your starting quarterback. These cards aren't your starting running back. The running backs are going to be buns. The only running back that I think might be worth your money is Kareem Hunt, strictly because of his speed. But going forward, not even going to linger on that. So that's kind of like, your offense isn't really like an 80 overall wide receiver. That's going to get replaced so quickly. There's so many wide receivers in the league, and there's going to be so many base elites that they're going to get replaced right away. It does help that this year they're taking chemistries into effect for the second and third, second strings, everywhere else third string for wide receiver. So like having an RB2, like if you're going with, let's say you are going with Terrell Davis and you want like Kareem Hunt, like that wouldn't be a bad idea. But yeah, I mean, I was really, personally, I think you're going to get your value at linebacker or defensive back or pass rusher here. So I really think defense is going to be the way to go, in my own opinion. We're going to move on to the bracket now. All right, so here we are in the bracket. So there was 8 quarterbacks and then 7 running backs, wide receivers, and linebacker/ends. So with the running backs, wide receiver, and linebacker/ends, since there was 7 of them, I took the 3 defensive backs and mixed those into that to make an even 4 sections of 8. So 32 teams standoff, quarterbacks first. Let's go through it. Here's my reasoning as to why each person's going to advance and to why each person is getting dropped. Luck. He's on the Colts. He's Andrew Luck. He's beating out Mariota. Done. Stafford versus Wilson. In this, I gotta think Stafford's just gonna have the better arm. So that's a big part in what I think, each person is gonna give. Wilson has the mobility, but like I said, these cards aren't anything crazy. So it's one of those things that I really just don't think I just don't think it's really worth it, to be perfectly honest. So then I'm going to pick Stafford. Next round, we have Wentz versus Deshaun Watson. With this, I think Deshaun Watson is going to have really good cards throughout the year, and I think Deshaun Watson's going to be good. But as far as this card that you probably won't be able to apply chemistries to or upgrade, I got to think off the rip, Wentz is going to be a better option. So these 1x1s are really for the people that are stuck deciding. I think Wentz is probably your 4th best quarterback you could get out of doing this. So I'd pick Wentz over Watson. I think he's just going to have better throwing stats is what it comes down to, which is why I picked Stafford. I think the throwing stats are just going to beat out Wilson. Rodgers Garoppolo. This is where I could see Garoppolo getting maybe a bump or 2 in like that short accuracy. But I still see Rodgers having the better throw power and the better accuracies just because he's a more established. Garoppolo's still a little bit of a question mark as to where everyone knows what they're getting with Rodgers. I don't really know what the speeds are going to look like because I don't really know what Garoppolo's low speed stats are going to be. I know Rodgers will be at like a 71 to 68-ish in speed, which will be kind of high in the start. Like Luck will probably be looking at like a 76. Mariota probably 76, 77. So I could see that looking pretty close to that. So I went with Rodgers. Next, we're going to be looking to the running backs. We had Gurley versus Howard. Like I said, Gurley's going to be the running back archetype for this game. So we're going to go into Gurley on this one. Next, we have LaShawn McCoy and Le'Veon Bell. So we're going to be going with Le'Veon Bell, just strictly due to the fact that while I said McCoy is really the type of running back you want this year, he's not the age running back you want this year. He's getting to be old. He's losing a little bit of his speed, Madden-wise. So I really think Bell's going to be the card you're going to want. But, yeah, just not positive. I don't really like either. I don't really like picking a running back for this. If you absolutely have to, I could see it. But you could probably get like an 82 overall base elite for $15K opening day. I just don't see the value there. Next we have Fournette and Hunt. With this, I would actually go with Hunt, just strictly due to his speed. That's pretty much where it starts and ends. Next we have David Johnson versus Josh Norman. For this, I go Josh Norman just because I explained before. I think defense is really where you're going to get the value out of this. So I could see having at least one elite defensive back really help out in those solo challenges, just really shutting down the opponent's pass game. For the wide receivers, we start out, I lumped Gronkowski into this because he is a receiver. So Gronk versus Devontae Parker, obviously, it's not even close. You got to pick Gronk. A really tough decision down the line whether I wanted him or not, just because tight ends are not easy to come by. We kind of got spoiled with getting a good Gronk last year, but tight ends are not easy to come by, and they're very important parts of the offense, so it is tough. Next we have A.J. Green and Amari Cooper. Got to go with A.J. Green here. Really just has better speed, better hands, better height, better spec catch. He's just going to have the better ratings. He's going to be the better wide receiver. Same with Michael Thomas and Jones. I really just see Jones as the better possession receiver, and when you're playing solos early on, you don't need the burner because you're going to be going up against 60 overall teams. You need the guy that's just going to catch every ball over these bad cornerbacks and safeties. Evans versus Landon Collins. Again, offense versus defense. Got to take the defense. Onto the defensive line. Myles Garrett and Leonard Williams. Myles Garrett was just so much fun last year. I had him as my rookie premier. Leonard Williams, kind of a bigger guy. I see Garrett as more of that speedy pass rusher, which early on in the game, that's what you're going to want. Same exact thing applies to the next matchup, Bosa versus Lee. While outside linebacker in Madden 18 was extremely hard to come by, there's not many good ones in our league. There's not many at all in our league. So it's tough to say that a position that's very shallow is going to be one that you pass up on, but Joey Bosa is just that good, and I see him playing across from my Bradley Chubb, and I see that as a really dangerous attack, so that'd be pretty sick. So I'm actually going to go with Bosa here. And then in the linebackers and ends, last two, we have C.J. Mosley and Luke Kuechly. Battle of middle linebackers, Kuechly's the better user, so that's where I'm going to go with that. And then as far as Harrison Smith versus Von Miller, this is actually a really tough decision, being that I need a free safety, but I also need a left outside linebacker. Von Miller is an absolute beast in Madden 18. He's an absolute beast in real life. And since I run a 3-4, having a good pass rushing outside linebacker like that, and there's actually a new position in Madden 19 called left and right pass rusher. So, this is going to be my pass rusher on his dominant side. So, that's where he's going to be. So that's where we're going. That tops off round one, and we're going to take a look at round two. Okay, so to keep this video from going on forever, round two, we have just the results of what happened and what we're going to be doing for the next round. So in this next round, we have Luck up against Stafford. I'm going to take Luck here. I think the arm talent's probably going to be about the same. Maybe Stafford. I mean, Stafford's definitely going to have better throw power and better short, probably by a point or two. But in the medium or deep, I think Luck's going to win that, and I think he's going to win in speed. He's definitely going to win in speed and the play action. So, going to take Luck. Rodgers, same thing. I just think he's going to have the better throwing stats. Speed, Wentz will probably have him by a point or two, but I think Rodgers is the better call here. Next we have Gurley versus Bell. Got to take Gurley. He's just the type of player you want this year. He's what's hot. He's the guy that I thought was going to be on the cover. So, yeah, definitely got to go with Gurley here. Next one we have Kareem Hunt versus Josh Norman. Got to take the defense. I don't see Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt will probably have a base elite better than this 80 overall. I know he'll have a base elite better than this 80 overall. So I just don't see the value here. As with all these cards, don't take that as he's the only one that's going to have a base elite. But he's a guy that'll probably have like an 85, 86 base elite. That'll be like 40 to 50K that you could get day one. Next we have Gronk versus AJ Green. This is really tough. But strictly due to the fact that I have Calvin Ridley as my rookie premier, I'm just going to go with Gronk here and think that I'm going to be filling a position of need. Same goes with this Jones versus Collins. You do have a strong safety too. I could move him out of position for a little bit until I get a fill-in. So I'm going to take Landon Collins over Julio Jones here as well. Then we have Myles Garrett versus Joey Bosa. Got to take Bosa just because Garrett, I think, is going to be a right end. It's the side he played last year. It's the side that Bradley Chubb is. So I just want to go with the position of need here. And then next we have Kuechly and Miller. I'm already getting Urlacher, and while I do run a 3-4 and having Kuechly and Urlacher would be deadly, I do want to shore up that outside. And like I said, outside linebacker is shallow. There are no good outside linebackers besides Luke Kuechly and besides Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Sean Lee, Kerrigan, Telvin Smith. Like, there's very, very few good outside linebackers. So gonna go with Von Miller here, and that sends us into round 3. All right, so for round 3, we have it is coming down to the wire here. We got Luck versus Rodgers, Gurley versus Norman, Gronk versus Collins, and Bosa versus Miller. So here I gotta go with my favorite player and take Luck over Rodgers. I think these cards are probably going to be pretty close. Rodgers is going to have slightly better throwing. Luck is going to have slightly better rushing. So that's probably, you'll probably see Luck have a little bit better of break tackle, as to where you'll have Rodgers have better throw under pressure. So I'll take Luck here, but as far as like throwing ability, Rodgers is the better quarterback. Gurley versus Norman. Gurley's really a good pick here. I think he'd be a good person to start your team off with, especially if you're no money spent. But I really think that with me having Saquon Barkley, he's going to be a 79. Why would I take an 80 Gurley? I'm going to take Josh Norman here at cornerback and make him the second to my Derwin James, or actually the first, and have Derwin James be the second. Next we have Gronk versus Landon Collins. Position of need, good at his position. Good in a shallow position. I'm going to take Gronk. Next, we have Bosa versus Miller. This took me so long to decide, but I got to be honest. It's just, I got to take Von Miller. Von Miller's a beast. While Bosa's a position in need, so is Miller. Miller, I probably one of the most polarizing positions I've noticed in Madden 18 was how nice it was when I went from Whitney Merciless at an 86 to the Von Miller at, I think he was an 83, but was like chem boosted to an 84. He was the best player on the field. And then even when I was up to like having a team full of 90s, I still had that 84 Von Miller, and he was still making crazy amounts of plays. So that's, I got to get to Von Miller. So in the pretty much finals here, we have Luck Norman and Gronk Miller. All right, so in the last round, it comes down to 4. We are up Luck versus Norman. I already have Sam Darnold at a 78, 79, something like that. Who's going to be getting better. Andrew Luck will most likely have a base elite or a gold. I I gotta go with Norman. He's the position in need, and that's where I'm going. So Josh Norman is in the finals. Then we have Gronk versus Miller, offense versus defense, Titan versus Titan, best at his position versus best at his position. It's tough, but I think with tight ends we have the Hunter Henrys, we have the Jack Doyles, the Austin Hoopers, the Gronkowskis, the Kelseys, the Jordan Reeds. Like, we have players at tight end that will be better than an 80 overall. And with Von Miller, there will only be one better Von Miller, one player better than this Von Miller, and it's going to be the Von Miller that's a 90 overall. So, I mean, there'll be like Khalil Mack and stuff like that are going to be super hard to get, but I think Von Miller is really going to be the one to take out Gronk here. So Miller will be advancing, and then we have Josh Norman and Von Miller in the final round. And in the last round, we gotta have Norman taking the L. He is going to fall to Von Miller. Von Miller is just that position that I'm going to need. I didn't even expect Von Miller to make it this far, but I need him. I'm going to need a player at that position with that amount of skill. Josh Norman, as great as he is, I'm going to have a Denzel Ward. Plus, I'm going to have, I'm going to pull better corners. If they do something similar with like the Champ Bailey last year, I'll have that. And I just don't want to waste this card pick, this 80 overall pick, could be a card that you use for at least a week, at least a couple days. So I really want a card that's going to get me my most amount of value. And I feel like I could replace Norman so quick. Von Miller, I don't really think I'll be able to replace right away. So that's why he's going to take the win here. And that's who I'm going to be picking with my Team Elite. So after all we talked about, this is a live look at my team for next year in the upcoming Madden 19. This is my day one starters already. So obviously these are the Madden 18 versions of the card. But what I did with the Antonio Brown is took his 80 from last year and took the worst versions of the rookie premieres. These are the cards that I'll be starting out with. So as you can see, I already have my offense skill positions, not the line, already pretty set. Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, Calvin Ridley, Quentin Nelson, and AB. I have a really good looking offense already. So that's who we're going to be having. Of these guys, I think Saquon's going to wind up being the best rookie premier. I could also really see Calvin Ridley probably getting a couple randomly good cards throughout the year as well. So with all these cards, we're going to be heading over to the defense and look at the cards that we have over there. And with the defense, we have these players that are just game changers. So we got the 80 Von Miller, same as last year. Card art, same card. I didn't pick him last year. I actually picked Rodgers last year because I didn't have a quarterback coming into the game. But this year I do, so that made a big difference. Middle linebacker, I have the rookie premier Roquan Smith, and then I'm picking the GOAT, Brian Urlacher. So with my 3-4, I already have a really good 3-4 setup right now between Bradley Chubb on one side, Von Miller on the other side, and then two user beasts in the middle. Then at safety, we got Derwin James. We'll see how he does this year. He'll be a great card to have. Probably keep him for a while. He'll probably just keep upgrading. And Denzel Ward, great starting corner to have. So that is going to wrap up the video here for Madden 19 as to who you should pick, who I picked. I cannot wait for opening day. We are only 13 days away from getting our Madden Ultimate Team ratings. So check out on the 23rd. I believe Mutthead will be doing the same as last year. You'll be able to see the cards and everything. So we'll finally start getting a database together and we'll get some stats. And I'm excited for Madden 19. I had a ton of fun with Madden 18. It's the longest I've ever played a Madden throughout the year. I'm still loving the game. I can't wait for 19. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you enjoy Madden 19. And if you're watching this, drop a comment as to who you think you'll be picking for your choice positions. Thank you.